Welcome back. And today's topic specifically, we're going to be looking at employee benefits. So it will be more relevant to people that are employed. Most of us would always say, no, I don't earn enough. I just need more money. But what we are addressing is, what is it that your employer has put in place for you that you are going out and duplicating? Because it has been proven and research shows that some of the benefits that we get, we go out and duplicate the same benefits from other insurers. So we're going to be looking at a component called employee benefits. So your company, when they employ you, they usually say this is the total cost to company. Of the total cost to company, there's a cash component. That's why most of us would say, oh no, I thought I'd be earning this much, but I'm only getting this much. That is because in the total cost to company, what's structured in there are the employee benefits. Most of us don't open our pay slips. We just wait for the SMS. Oh, no, we got paid today. Yeah, I can go and spend the money. But how many of us sit down? So today I would want you to literally take your pay slip, have it in front of you, and check the components that I'll be discussing with you. So they would say this is your total cost to company. Of that amount, there's what is called a group life. So a group life, how it actually works is they take your annual package, whatever your annual package is. So let's use an example, a random number. Let's say you are on $1 million package. Won't that be nice? Anyway, you have an annual package of $1 million. They take that million and multiply it by a certain number. So they would say multiply it by 2, multiply by 3, multiply by 5. That is the component that your family would get should you pass on. So they say, using the R1 million example, I'm earning $1 million total package. They multiply it by 2. If they multiply by 2, it means my family will be getting $2 million from the company should I pass on. Or they can say we multiply it by 5, which means the family will get $5 million. Why that is of importance is because most of the people that we meet and I speak to would say, oh no, I have a life cover. If you already have a life cover, but your employer has put in a group life for you, why do you then duplicate the same benefits? Which then leads to the next question. What do you use the life cover for? Because there's also a misnomer in what you use a life cover for. So sit down and look at your debt. Because that's what a life cover would come in the event when you pass on. Using me as an example again, I have 2 kids. The one is 6, the other one is 10. They still need to go to varsity. So finish off schooling, go to varsity, for a set amount of years. So let's say with the 6-year-old one or the 10-year-old one, I still have 8 years of schooling. After that, I put in a 4-year degree. After that, I then look at, okay, these are the expenses for schooling only. What other things do I need to pay for? It's obviously food issues, clothing, all of those things. Then you again say, do I owe my house? How much is outstanding on my bond? You have that amount. Then you say, how much would everyone that I want, who is currently a beneficiary, how much is it going to cost them to continue living the way that they were living when I was still alive? You take those amounts and say, oh, okay, overall, the cost is going to be $2 million. If then the company says, we're going to give your family $2 million should you pass on, why do you then have to go outside and duplicate the same benefits? Because you can use that as an amount to augment already what you have. So in an event where my total expenditure, what I would need is $5 million, and from the employer I already have $2 million, then what does that say? It says I only need life cover for the $3 million that is outstanding. And some of these benefits, the older you get, if then I get older, the kids finish schooling, I pay off my house, then how much life cover do I need? Then it means you need to look at other things, because then life cover, what I would have needed life cover for, has disappeared or reduced in the amount that I need. Now the kids are done with high school. It only means I have only varsity left. Then I need to calculate that amount. So your life cover amount is dependent on your personal circumstances. We see a lot of advertisements saying, no, a million rand, for a R1 million life cover, you can only, get it for 200 rands or whatever. But then do we all need a R1 million life cover? So what I'm trying to say to you is look at what the group life is giving you. Check what you need in the event that you're not there. Not what you need, but what your family needs in the event that you're not there. Calculate that amount and augment. If there's an additional, if you have enough from the group life, you don't need to go out and augment. If you don't have enough, then you would need to go and augment. And the other thing about life covers that I've seen a lot of people doing is then saying, oh, okay, I'm buying a car, I'll get a life cover. I'm buying a house, I'll get a life cover. I'm buying whatever of substantial value, I'm getting another life cover. Remember what the NCA did is to say one life cover is good for anything as long as there's enough life cover amount on it. So if I'm buying a house and I'm buying a car and I already have an existing 1 million rand life cover, I don't then need to go out and have 5 different life covers, because one life cover is good to go as long as I can show the proof of it. So that's the one part of our employee benefits. That's the group life part, and I hope I've explained it fully. The following part is the funeral cover. Most employee benefits already have funeral policies. And it pains me to see the amount of money that we waste on funeral policies. So most employees would say, in the event that you pass on, we're gonna pay for the burial, as in the specific on-the-day expenses, for you or your spouse or your kids. So it's important for you to then go to HR and ask them for the funeral who's actually covered. So most funeral policies would cover your direct family. So it will be you, your spouse. They would not cover extended family. So when you look at your funeral cover that the employer is giving to you already, then all you need to do is to augment. You don't need 5 more funeral policies. Taking me as an example again, then I say, no, I want to do something for my parents. I still have my mom and dad alive. Then I'd say, okay, in the family, who is it else that I want to cover? If it's my aunt, if my uncle or whoever, you must have a number. You must have a number. You must know who you want to cover. From then you say, okay, but I'm already covered by my employer. My employer is giving me this amount for my own one. All I need to do is then augment again for the other guys. So it's not necessary for me to then have another funeral cover for my life, given that this is already set up by the employer for me. Then you find union members. Anyone that's on a union, guys, please check what benefits you're getting from the union, because some of them already have a funeral component to it. So one of the things that we duplicate and over-duplicate is the funeral cover. So if you're employed, you'd find that the employer is already covering you. If you're a union member, you'd find that as part of your union benefits, you have funeral cover already. So why do you then go out and take 5 or 4 or whatever number of funeral policies? All you need to do is sit down and check what you covered for and augment. Again, there's no need for you to waste money. Then the other thing that I want to cover is the medical aid, because most of us now, we're seeing a lot of adverts on the disability cover. Do you need more disability? Do you need disability cover? These are the things that you can do. Most of us, as part of our employee benefits, we have the disability cover already. And remember, for you to even be declared disabled, it's a process. So it's not like now I was in an accident, my leg got cut off. It's a process. If then I can't use my leg, then can I do another job that doesn't require my legs? So for you to even get to the status of being disabled, it's a medical process that you'd have to go through. But in the event that you are declared disabled, the employer has already given or put in a structure to cover your disability. That money we can redirect to something else. We know as South Africans we don't save for education. We know as South Africans we don't save for retirement. So those are the monies that we can use and say, oh, okay, no, I don't need additional 5 funeral policies. I can take the 1 funeral policy amount, put it into education of my child, take the other funeral cover amount, put it into my retirement annuity. When you change employers, because some people would say, no, but then I'm intending on changing my jobs. That's why it's so important to understand the package that you're on. Because when you move on to the next employer, you can then say, oh, okay, no, I can see the cash component looks nice, but there's no employee benefits structured in there. So if there's no employee benefits, it means it's going to be more expensive for you to go out and duplicate those benefits because you need to set them up. So when you compare employers, also compare not only the cash component, but also the employee benefits that the new employer would be giving you. It's very important, guys, to open up our statements, especially when retail statements. Most of us don't open our retail statements. Because you'd find, oh no, I'm paying this amount. But then when you look at the statement, why are they charging me club fees? Why are they charging me funeral cover? Make sure that you open up your statements from wherever you have your debt. So your life cover will stand in for all the debt that you have to make sure that everyone is covered, or the people that you owe are covered. In the event that you retire, what you would get out would be your pension fund amount or the provident fund amount. But in terms of the employee benefits, those were the benefits that you would have as a result of being employed. And now that the employment is being terminated, you would then have to, on your own, get those benefits. The company would give you a benefit of taking that rate and continuing it at that rate. So the group life benefits are very important. And when you exit, or at the time when you go to retirement, you can then say, I want to take this rate on my personal capacity and continue. The older you are, you don't need more life cover, but you need more medical cover. Because now we're all healthy and not having issues, but then there will come a time when the knees go and the back goes and all of these issues go. So you'd find that the amount that I'm using now for life cover at a later age, I can switch then and get more in terms of my medical insurance issues. So those are the things that you need to plan the older you get. The company says, these are the benefits that we have. How it gets to your beneficiaries is up to you. So in my case, let's use again me as an example. So if I say I want my husband to get 50%, I want my kids to get 20%, I want my mom to get 10%, I would have to specify in the beneficiary nominations, this is the allocation of how the money should be distributed. Because that's another bad thing that we do. We get employed. When you sign up, your circumstances are way different to what they would be 5 years down the line. I was not married, now I'm married. Or I was married, now I'm divorced. Have you changed your beneficiary nomination list? Because remember, when you pass on, there's no one that's going to come and say, oh, no, we didn't know that you don't want your ex-husband to benefit. Because remember, if your ex-husband is still showing on your beneficiary nomination list, clearly you wanted them to have it, because you didn't come back and say, no, change the allocation, change the people. These are the new people that I want. You can change your beneficiary nomination list anytime. So look into what the benefits are. Have that conversation with HR. When you get your provident fund statement or pension fund statement, also get your employee benefit statement. Do I then need to go and cancel that life cover that I already have, or those 5 funeral policies that I currently have, and just augment? You only earn one salary once a month, and it's a set amount. And unfortunately, as life has it, we have so many different things that we need to achieve with that one salary. So wherever the employer is coming in to help out, why do you then take the same amount and duplicate in the same benefits? So your employer is saying, over and above your salary that you get every month, these are the things that we cover. But because we don't even know that we have these benefits, we go out and duplicate the same benefits. And in us duplicating those same benefits, we don't even have a set amount in mind. Because a lot of the time, they advertise R1 million life cover, like I said. So R1 million, do I have expenses that cover R1 million? You'd find that I don't. I don't need R1 million life cover. I only need 300,000 life cover. But then, because I don't sit down and say, these are the things that I need my life cover to cover: your house, your car, if it's still owing, your kids. Write them down, have an amount, have an idea how much you would need. Then look at, oh, okay, my group benefits is going to pay out this amount of money to the beneficiaries. So really, do I need that amount of life cover? Then you can reduce and say, okay, instead of me spending 600 Rand on life cover every month, all I need to do is reduce the life cover amount to 300 Rand. Then I can say, oh, okay, I'll take the 300 Rand, thank you, and I'll put it in my retirement annuity.